So as we look at Killian Hayes on the defensive end, you know we're going to start with his ability to disrupt an offensive player. And it's just because he has... So as we look at Killian Hayes on the defensive end, you know we're going to start with his ability to disrupt an offensive player with those active hands. But it's not just about being active, it's about being precise, like getting your hands on the ball when they need to be there and in the right spot. So here in transition, this is a tough spot to be in, kind of in retreat mode, offensive player coming downhill at you, and he's able to notice the exact time when the offensive player puts the ball out where he can get his hands on it, gets two hands on the ball, and creates a jump ball situation. In that situation, in transition is huge. Now here, fighting through a ball screen, I liked when he gets hugged up to the offensive player to fight through these. He's a little bit late, a little bit slow on this one, but watch as Garland comes off. As soon as he sweeps that ball to the left side of his body, Killian Hayes is right there with his hand over the top of the ball, ready to get his hands on it, force it away from him, and get transition going the other way. Think about how many opportunities in transition this creates for his team. And then a beautiful closeout here, and then he's going to stay in front. Again, using that physicality. Okay, a little bit too much at times, but so far he's done a good job staying out of foul trouble with how handsy he is and how physical he likes to be when he uses his body on defense. But here he holds his ground at the rim, and then as soon as the offensive player turns to come back, he gets a hand in there, just enough exposure from the ball to get his hands on it, cause a little disruption, end up getting a foul call there, I believe, on Cade Cunningham. But you can see the disruption he causes. And then here, just even away from the ball, or as he's coming to double team, on this one, it's just a pass, and he just happens to be opportunistic. The ball's away from the offensive player's body, so he gets a hand on it. Pistons aren't able to come up with it, but again, you can see the transition opportunities he could create for his team. And then here's that double team. He comes on Scotty Barnes, just enough away from Barnes' body that he's able to get a hand on it, knock it off of himself, and get an extra opportunity for the Pistons. And then I like this, again, being physical. So here's coming for a handoff, Darius Garland. He's going to hug up to Garland. I felt like in this game he did a really good job, even whenever Garland had the ball, trying to get through ball screens. But he hugs up here, puts his hands on, gets physical with him, and I really like that part of his game. It also allows him to be switchable at times. You're not just going to leave him out on an island, but he can be a little switchable, guard some bigger guys as well. Now, as we look at areas where he can improve, it's when he doesn't get up in the ball handler. So here he's a little late with it, and then you see it causes him to be really late getting through this ball screen. He's way behind here. But if there's one thing about Killian Hayes, he's going to continue to give effort and focus on the defensive end. And so right here, he continues to play. He doesn't just let himself get screened and stand here at the three-point line. He continues to get back into play and keep that from being a lob or a dump off to the big man rolling. Now, a couple other areas, a false step occasionally here. So I think he's into and he's focused to what's going on, but he made his eyes wander here a little bit. He needs to stay with Garland. He helped just a little bit on the back screen, but now he's got to be getting through, and he just false steps just a little bit here in the lane. And I realize that doesn't seem like much, but it puts him behind just enough that now Garland gets an open three and knocks it down. So just a couple of these that I wanted to highlight were just a little bit of a false step, maybe a little more sense of urgency as he's coming off here, going to switch this, and he goes over the top on this, and maybe this was poor communication, I don't know, but he should have came underneath so he could stay inside of Mobley, between him and the rim. As you see, Mobley rolls here, and now Killian Hayes has found himself way behind, and they have the lob there. So whether it was a misstep or miscommunication, he's got to stay between Mobley and the basket, especially as a smaller defender. And then here, just maybe a little bit nitpicky, but something I really like to point out. So here, he comes on the closeout, which is right, okay? He's going to rotate, and then Sadiq will rotate to the shooter here. I would like his closeout to be a little bit more in this passing lane. Take away this one more pass, force Garland to drive this, okay? But don't let him just make an easy pass here. I just think this closeout in this rotation situation could be a little bit better, a little more in that line, so that way it's not an easy pass to the corner and the open three.